Hi, my name is Ian, and I teach the discipline of work. Welcome to Workmanship today. Today, I want us to discuss a very sensitive topic, professionalism. Okay. First of all, our goal is to understand the basics of professionalism, what it is, and why it is important. Then number two, we want to be able to understand the challenges that comes with being professional at work. And then once we understand the challenges, we can better adapt ourselves to stay very professional in our workplaces. So first, let me start with some facts, right? What is professionalism anyways? Okay, we say that someone is professional in his work if he's able to keep the standards and the ethics of the work, regardless of his personal opinions, his feelings, desires, and anything that he thinks as a person. Okay, so professionalism involves you separating the work ethics completely from your personal desires and your personal life. Okay, now let me give you some examples. So let's assume that you are working as a teacher and you need to mark the scripts of your students. And there was a student who insulted you during the time that you were teaching them. Staying professional means that you will not bring this into consideration when you mark the papers. You will still mark according to the marking scheme, and you will treat all the students equal. Right? Professionalism also means that whether you are happy or not in the workplace, you will give your best. It also means that whether you like people or not, you can work with them, right? So if we created a group in the workplace and you were put into the same group with people that you don't like, you have to still be able to work with them and achieve results the same way you would have done if they were people that you personally liked. Okay, so that will require that you put your feelings about them aside, and then you get into the work and execute your task professionally and move on. It also you would give your very best day in and day out, regardless of what you think about the work. Right? So if, let's say, you are being treated well in the workplace or not, as long as you are employed there, you would give your best. That makes you a professional. And then finally, you would treat people equal, regardless of whether they are rich, poor, they are big people or small people in society. That means if they are people of authority or common people, as we call them, or if they are people you know or people you don't even have any relationship with, you will treat them equal. You apply the rules of the work to everyone, regardless of who they are and regardless of what you think about them. Then you are professional, right? So this is what professionalism demands of all of us. But it is quite challenging, especially when you are in our part of the world, right? If you want to stay professional, it is extremely challenging. And the reasons are this. First of all, our culture is directly opposite of what is required for you to be professional, right? Our culture values relationships more than truth and rules and guidelines, right? So we believe that, well, if you know someone, then the rules shouldn't apply to that person. It should only apply to people that you don't know. You have to punish crime. You punish only those that you don't know, but those you know, you don't punish them. You punish people who are poor, but not those who are rich. You punish people who are common, but not those in authority. And so this is what we have come to believe as a people, and you are being compelled to do that, right? So what the society is asking you to do is the exact opposite of what you must do to stay professional. That is the first challenge that you have to navigate, right? Now, the second challenge is that we as a people simply do not separate our personal life from professional life. We keep them the same. So in the workplace, your family come for service and they expect that you treat them as family, but not as customers, right? That is our culture. And so it becomes very difficult for you to stay professional, especially when you are dealing with people you know, right? And then people actually demand that you become unprofessional, right? Because they feel that is the right thing to do, that you don't apply the rules to them, or you don't apply it at all, and you just stay loose and let them have their way. People demand that in the society. So that is another challenge that you have to deal with. Then the fourth challenge is that we as a people tend not to be able to work with those that we are not in agreement with. Okay, so we put personal sentiments sometimes ahead of the professional demands. So if I know someone, or if I like him, or I like my boss, I like the person giving me the task, I will give my best. But if I don't like him, I don't relate well with him, I don't want to give my best. I want to use that as a medium to punish him or to correct him because I don't like him and I feel that what he's doing, I should find a way to tell him that I don't like what he's doing or to help him change, right? That is usually a mindset that we have, and it makes it very difficult for us to stay professional. So now you want to stay professional. What should you do? I think the first thing you need to understand is that this is the exact opposite of what our culture demands from us. Okay? This is the most important thing because that will help you to get the right mindset required to stay professional in the face of the challenges, right? Remember that the people around you will not accept that you become professional. They don't believe in professionalism and they don't want you to be professional. So that is the first thing you must know. The second thing you must know is that if you want to stay professional, you will lose a lot of relationships. You will lose friends, you will lose family people, you will lose colleagues. People just will not like you because you will live the exact opposite of what our society believes the culture should be, right? You will tend to treat people in a way that they think that you are wicked because you apply the rules whether you know them or not. And people might think that you have problem with them. They will not understand that you are just trying to be professional. So prepare for the challenges. Then number 3, accept that this is going to cost you something, right? It's not just the relationships that you are going to lose, but it will cost you more. The consequences that comes are far more than the relationships that you are going to lose. Some of them, sometimes it may even cost you your job. Maybe a big man comes and you apply the rules and he knows your boss, he calls him and say, hey, your boy acted rude to me and you can be fired if your boss does not appreciate your professionalism. Okay. But remember this, people will appreciate you for who you are if you stay professional consistently. Okay. The right people will stay with you. So you will lose a lot of people, but eventually the right people will stay with you. And that is what you want. You don't want everyone around you. You want the right people who would appreciate who you are so that you can live the life that God intended for you to live, right? So stay professional consistently and the right people will stay with you. Eventually, they will know that that is who you are and they will have to appreciate that. Also, professionalism, being professional doesn't mean you should be rude, right? Just be plain, straightforward, and apply the rules with respect. And when you respect people, some will understand that you are not trying to be rude. You are just trying to do the right thing that you should be doing. And also remember that your job is not to make everyone happy, right? Your job is to execute tasks and accomplish your work. Okay, so if people are not happy with you, it doesn't mean that you haven't achieved your goals. Sometimes people will be happy with you. Sometimes people will not be happy with you. It is not important that people should always be happy with you. Then, finally, apply the rules to yourself. If you are asking people to come to work at 8, you should be there by 8. If you are keeping the rules and you enforce it to everyone, including those who know you and your friends, they will keep it too and they will respect you for that. But if you are not keeping the rules and you are expecting people to keep it, and you are expecting to apply the standards to people, but not yourself, then you become a hypocrite, and people will hate you for that, right? Okay, I think we will end here. And thank you once again for joining today. I hope that this was a helpful session to you. God bless you. Bye-bye.